Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Kristen Gear, and I am the Director of Operations for BNI Arizona. And every week I come to you providing a weekly education nugget called Wisdom Wednesday that counts as one chapter education and for watching. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's edition. Guys, we are only a couple weeks away before the October 1st transition. So I wanted to send out a couple reminders, but also some key things around goals for your chapter, for you personally, and for BNI. So that way you can prepare for the new BNI year, because everything starts over in the new BNI year. So first things first, guys, please make sure that you're getting all of your updated your trainings updated for your incoming roles. So every role has training. Every role has training. And there is the Tips for Success session. So I'm sorry if it has been confusing at all, but I've sent out emails with charts and everything on what each role needs to do. So please make sure that you are getting all of your training completed. It is a labor of love to update the master spreadsheet of who and who hasn't completed the training. So I am going through everything and sending out updates to the incoming and current leadership teams. So if you're on a leadership team, stay tuned. If you haven't already received the update, it is coming soon, because I'm going through, there's 1,800 members in our region that need to complete training. So it is a long spreadsheet, but we're getting through it. So please make sure that if your role has Business Builder training, that you're going on Business Builder. There are roles such as the mentor role, growth, events, and power team that their training is through the link on the BNI Arizona website. So it's not in Business Builder. If you go to bniarizona.com, click on training. So don't log into BNI Business Builder, just click on training. And then if you scroll down, all of the lists of the leadership and support team roles will be all in one chunk of information. So if your role is through Business Builder, that link will take you into Business Builder. If it's not in Business Builder, it'll take you to a link that is through the Zoom recorded training. And then in addition, so we do have the Tips for Success sessions, and they are for every role. Even social media is included in the President's Team Tips for Success sessions. And so there are roles for everyone. Great news is, if you're like, oh man, I totally spaced needing to sign up for a Tips for Success session, no worries, because guess what? They are recorded. So I will be sending out the recording links to anyone that may have missed the Tips for Success session, so that way you can get up to speed on all of the things that you need to do to prepare for success for the October 1st transition. Because the biggest thing, guys, is making a smooth transition. I will say some of the biggest things that we want to focus on to make sure it's a smooth transition: one, visitor hosts. Current visitor hosts, incoming visitor hosts, communicate with each other because it's important to make sure that follow-up stays consistent through the transition. So that's going to be a big one for the visitor follow-up. Second thing is current membership committees and incoming membership committees. Make sure to communicate on any pending applications, because that is one thing that I hear each year in October is from pending applicants saying that they haven't heard back from the membership committees and they submitted their application. So current membership committees, if someone submits their application towards the end of this month, make sure to forward over that information to the new team, because the new team isn't going to receive the notifications for applications until October 1st. So all new leadership and support team members, all of the new notifications, they won't start until October 1st in the system. So it'll be important for the current teams to communicate with the new teams of what is pending in that interim, so that way everything can have a smooth transition and communication doesn't stop. That's going to be a big thing. And for our Secretary Treasurers, please make sure to get together with the incoming Secretary Treasurer to fill out the speaker rotation at least until the end of October, making sure that the speakers are entered into BNI Connect, because the incoming secretary treasurer won't have access until October 1st. So make sure to keep entering in the speaker rotation in BNI Connect through October, so that way it gives the new secretary treasurer time to get up to speed and get all of the next set of speakers plugged into the rotation, especially with entering them into BNI Connect. So if you guys have any additional questions about the training or about the tips for success sessions, again, I'm going to send out all of the links again to everyone. So all the training links I will send out, and I will send out the links for the tips for success sessions for anyone that may have missed them. This Friday is the last one. So if you want to attend the live version, be able to network with some amazing members from around town, because in the session we do have open networking. So I do breakout rooms, so that way you get to meet some members from other chapters, build relationships around the valley. So make sure to attend. Join me on Friday. Each of the sessions has an additional one on Friday. To sign up, I haven't closed online registration yet, so to be able to sign up, go to bniarizona.com, click on the calendar link, and then you'll be able to pick which team you're on. So the president's team has presidents, education, events, growth, power teams, and social media. The vice presidents have vice presidents, assistant vice presidents, membership committees, and mentors. And then the secretary treasurer team has secretary treasurers, visitor hosts, and timer. Now the timer one is not a requirement, but I did include a slide for the timer role. So if you want some tips on the timer, feel free to join us too. And you can get some great networking in the middle of that too. So looking forward to seeing a lot of you on Friday on Zoom. And so really excited for those last sessions. They will be recorded, and I will send out the links so that way everyone will be up to date on what to make sure that you're doing starting October 1st for your role. Because we really shouldn't have anyone with an unknown thought of what's involved with their role starting October 1st. So these next 2 weeks, guys, are going to be crucial just to get everything set up and ready to go. Again, if you have questions, connect with your chapter director or myself. We're here happy to support you as much as possible. Now, goals. So we have a new BNI year coming up, guys. So did you know that there are 2 different types of goals within BNI? There's profitability goals and there's performance goals. And they are tied together in a way. So one of the things that you want to think of is evaluate how well your business did over this past year in BNI. Now, think of a goal that you want to set for this next year in BNI to determine how many new referrals that you need to get in to create more success for your business. For example, if you have a brand new goal for a certain dollar amount of business or a certain number of clients, it's important to make sure that we're as specific as possible with our goals. Not just saying, I want to grow my business. Be more specific. What does that look like? And make sure that you're explaining what that looks like in your upcoming one-to-ones with fellow members, because the more your members know what your specific goals are, whether it's a dollar amount goal, number of clients, certain types of clients, if you love to work with a certain type of client and you have a goal to have more of those types of clients this upcoming year, like, what does that look like? How are you going to educate us on how to find those people for you? Because in BNI, it's all about givers gain. And the more that we educate each other on the specifics about our business, the more it's going to activate our reticular activator. So as soon as we hear something that's going to trigger us to think of you and your business, we're going to automatically make that introduction. But if we don't know who those introductions are, we won't automatically think to create that introduction for you. So think about what goals that you want to set for the incoming year and write them down and share them, guys. You want to share them with as many people as possible, whether it's in your chapter or even cross chapter. That's how you can build even more stronger relationships. Because remember, one-to-ones, you want to go with the intention not to gain business, right? You don't want to go in working for the sale in a one-to-one, right? We're going in to build relationships during those one-to-ones. And part of those relationships, it's all about goals. And that is actually part of the gains exchange form, right? Goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. So that goals piece, share your specific goals. Again, it's not just saying I'm looking to grow my business. Be more specific in how you want to grow your business. What does that look like? What does the end picture look like? What are the goals of what you want to accomplish when you hit those goals? Is there life goals? Are you planning to retire soon? Like, all of these things add up to where BNI can help you achieve those goals that you're setting out to create. Now, those are the profitability goals, making sure that you set specifics, because when you break it down, you can determine how many referrals you would need to meet and exceed your goals. And so in the weekly presentations and one-to-ones, any opportunity that you have to share the information, members will know exactly what goals you're looking to strive towards, what connections you're looking for, and your ideal referrals of who we can connect you with to take you to the next level. Now, on the flip side, the second set of goals is the performance goals. Now, this can be based around the power of one, because that report is all around performance, right? It's all of what we can do to contribute to our success in BNI. Because attendance, we personally are responsible for attending the weekly meetings. You gotta show up to win, right? So attendance is key. With CEUs, chapter education units, it's us. That's on us to learn more information, to better ourselves, to grow ourselves personally and professionally, to add to those chapter education units. Now remember, guys, one chapter education unit equals 1 hour of time. Unless you're watching this video, this is the only chapter education unit that isn't an hour long. I've seen some crazy chapter education numbers at different chapters, as if you guys are like doing full-time jobs with chapter education units, which is incredible. But I wanted to make sure that you guys are logging 1 CU per 1 hour of time. Super important to make sure we're logging those correctly. It is on the honor system, so just make sure you're doing the 1 CEU for 1 hour, except for these videos. These videos are the only ones that count as one chapter education unit. That's less than an hour. Then our one-to-ones. Those one-to-ones are on us to set up those one-to-ones. Now, as you go through BNI, if you have really big profitability goals in BNI, you want to increase your number of one-to-ones. So over this past year, look to see how many one-to-ones you did, but also not just the number though, evaluate the quality of those one-to-ones. What did you specifically share in those one-to-ones? Was it a 5-minute one-to-one, which doesn't count, guys? We've been doing some myth busting in the Tips for Success sessions, and a flyby in the grocery store or a 5-minute phone call does not count as a one-to-one. But really evaluate the quality of your one-to-ones. What are you sharing? Are you using some of the BNI tools in your one-to-ones? If you're not, this is going to be a great opportunity to start utilizing some of the amazing tools BNI has to offer in those one-to-ones to take your business to the next level. We have so many documents that have some strategic questions to ask each other that can help level up your business. So make sure you're using the tools. So check out the Power of One. Look to see how many one-to-ones you've had over this past year. And if you're looking to gain more referrals throughout this next year, I would highly recommend creating a goal to boost that one-to-one number, whether it's members of your chapter or in other chapters. Get strategic with those one-to-ones. Have one-to-ones with potential power partners and people in your own profession. I say it all the time. BNI, yes, we're one person per profession in our chapters, but it's not about competition in BNI. It's all about how we can collaborate with other people. When I used to represent my massage business, I received the most massage referrals from other massage therapists. So you don't want to don't go in looking at everyone as competition. We do that too often in the outside world when we're talking to people in the same industry. We think they're going to steal business from us, but You want to make sure that we have that abundance mindset. There's enough business to go around for everyone, guys. So make sure that you're leveling up on your relationships and having those strategic one-to-ones, again, with power partners in your chapter and other chapters and people in your own profession. You never know where that relationship might go and what connections may come out from just creating that relationship. Now, as you have more one-to-ones, that will equal more referrals. More referrals. So the power of one, look to see how many referrals you have passed over this past year and make a goal on how many referrals you want to pass for the new year. Because I guarantee you guys, if you pass more referrals, you will also receive more referrals. If members are viewing you as a great contributor, that you're passing amazing business to other members, it will in turn come back to you tenfold. So make sure that we're not just solely focusing on what we're receiving, because we also need to focus on what we're giving to other members. We need to have that as a priority when we're talking about referrals, of how many referrals are we going to be passing to other members, because then that will also increase the number of the referrals that we are receiving. So make sure to look at all of the different activities on the Power of One and figure out where you're at this year and where you can improve on the next year, because the more activity that you put into BNI, the more success that you're going to get out of BNI. So make sure, guys, to evaluate your profitability goals for the new BNI year, and then also check out the Power of One on what you want to do to set yourself up for success on your performance goals. Ideally, members should be in the green and yellow on the Power of One. The higher you are in the Power of One, the more activity you have, you'll see more success come out of that activity as well. So make sure that you're focusing on that. I would recommend you could use the September Power of One, or you can start with the October Power of One that's going to come out for the new year, and then base those numbers off of creating your new performance goals for this next year. Now remember, guys, the Power of One is a 6-month snapshot of activity, not just month to month. So it is going to be from that last 6 months of activity, which you can definitely look at past reports as well. In the Leadership and Support Team Google Drive folder, I have all of the past Power of One reports if you want to check out what your Power of One was 6 months ago to get the first 6-month snapshot of the BNI year. So let me know if you guys have any questions, but looking forward to hearing all about the goals that you guys are setting for the new year. And thank you. I'm going to thank you all in advance for completing your Leadership and Support Team training and the Tips for Success sessions. It really is important to level up yourself and create more success for your roles in your chapter, because that will increase your visibility and credibility for yourself and your business. It has definitely helped me tremendously over the years with participating in different leadership and support team roles, not just for the visibility and credibility for my business, but also for my own personal confidence with public speaking and getting involved and getting out of my shell, because I am a huge introvert. If you guys couldn't guess that, I am a huge introvert. So in doing different roles throughout the year has helped get me out of my shell, whether it was visitor host was the very first one, then membership committee, then VP, then president. And so it just evolved over the years, which helped build my confidence, but it also helped build my visibility and credibility for my business, which I guarantee you it played a role in me tripling my business in BNI. So thank you all for those who have said yes to one of the incoming roles. It really does take a team to create success for a chapter. So thank you. Can't thank you enough. So thank you for tuning in today, and go log it, guys. Log 1, chapter education at 4, completing this video today. Appreciate your time. We'll see you guys next week.